welcome back to the channel. Welcome to a Sacred Union Energy Update. By the time you guys get this, it is going to be Wednesday. Remember, all my readings are timeless, so whenever you are watching this is when you are meant to see it. Take it for when it resonates for you. But it's going to be Wednesday when I post the live chat. I'm going to be at the beach. So I don't know if I'm going to be able to join the live chat, if I'll have connection, but I'll try to hop on. But I hope you guys enjoy and, communicate. Allow yourself to communicate with each other. This is a beautiful community. I am so very grateful and blessed to have all of you guys in this community. So allow yourselves to, enjoy the reading together and talk about your journey together and support each other. Speaking of support, the energies have been really, really difficult the past couple of days. I was talking with one of my soul sisters. She was experiencing the same thing. A couple of you have actually emailed me wondering what is going on or booking coaching sessions. It is because there's a lot of energy that is moving, that is aligning. And because a lot of energy is moving and aligning, and my candle just went out, because a lot of energy is moving and aligning, there is a lot of purging that is happening. And we thought that we were done. I'm going to get a new candle here. We thought that we were done with that journey, and we are, essentially. But we're always going to be healing. I just posted a new reel on Facebook and TikTok and Instagram that basically talks about this, how healing is truly a spiral. And we have to keep going deeper within ourselves to really clear out the stuff that just doesn't serve us anymore. And what I realized through my own journey this week was to allow the healing to take place. I have a feeling that's not going to be good, but we'll see what happens. We'll just see what happens. We have to allow the healing to take place. We have to allow ourselves to feel our emotions. I just posted a collective message from the recent Ascension Relationships video that we did, and that video was extremely, extremely powerful and extremely in-depth channeling. So if you missed it, I do encourage you guys to go check that out. But the collective message was about how this journey really is about bridging the gap between our spirituality and our humanity, not forgetting that we are human. We can't bypass the human experience. We're not meant to forget that we are human. We're meant to remember our multidimensional nature. We're meant to remember that we are part of the universal construct, that we are part of this oneness, unity consciousness. But we are also unique expressions of that oneness. I talk about it all the time. This is the metaphor that they gave me, that we are unique threads in the tapestry of creation. We're all part of creation, but we're unique aspects of that. And that's a beautiful thing. That is a beautiful thing. How boring would this world be if we were all the same? If we were expressing ourselves the same, if we were communicating the same, if we had the same likes and dislikes. But how beautiful that we can all have varying experiences and expressions of those experiences. That is what we are here for. And when we talk about bringing heaven to earth, it is about bringing our spiritual self into integration with our human selves. Not to bypass or negate or neglect the human self, but to remember what it is to be wonderfully human. I'm so passionate about that. I've always been passionate about humanity. And through this ascension journey, I've learned so much more and become so much more passionate about what it is to be spiritually humane. Because we are here on this earth for a purpose. And it is not to forget humanity, but it is to embrace humanity within our spiritual nature. We're remembering through our healing journey. It's not just healing. Healing is remembering who we truly are by removing all the programming and removing all the conditioning, remembering who we truly are as soul. And we bring soul up to the forefront of our psyche, of our consciousness. We still express ourselves as Susan, as X, as Y, as Z, as whoever you are and whoever you want to be. You don't forget or negate your humanity. You remember that you are more. You are so much more than what you thought you were. You are limitless. That is where the bridge exists. So go ahead and check out that really short clip that I posted. And we're definitely going to be talking about that more on the channel because, like I said, I'm just so passionate. I've always been passionate about that. That's even come through in my fiction books that I write. I didn't realize that until recently, that has always been something that I've loved. When I write, it's not just, when I write, I infuse a lot of philosophy and a lot of humanity in my works. And I just realized recently that it's because I love life so much. It's because I love humanity so much. But there's also that spiritual, philosophical nature in there too. And I didn't realize it. I started writing way before my ascension journey. I didn't really understand it until my ascension. That this is the purpose. It is to be that gap. You yourself are the gap. Through your healing journey, through your ascension journey, you are bridging that gap. Let me put it this way. You are the bridge. You're not the gap. You are the bridge. There is a gap between humanity and spirituality, and you are that bridge. Through your ascension, you are becoming that bridge. All right, so let's get into sacred partnerships and see what's going on in the connection. So there's a lot of really heavy energy that we're experiencing with regards to ascension. For some of you might be experiencing it within your connection as well, as kind of like an offshoot, but it's really some heavy ascension energies, some real clearings that's happening here. So let's see what's going on. I'm going to pull this deck, excuse my reach, and let's see what's going on here. I personally have been feeling a need for a lot of love. It's been hard for me lately. I'm just going to be really real and honest with you guys. This is part of my job, to be here and to help uplift others and to be of service to others. But sometimes I don't understand this journey myself. Sometimes I get caught up in my own ego. Sometimes I get caught up in my own confusion. Like I said, I am human. We are all human. And that is natural. And I don't ever want to bypass the emotions that I'm personally feeling. Even though I have that higher understanding and I can see the bigger picture, what's confusing for me sometimes is the depth of emotions that I still feel. And part of my own self-mastery is learning how to feel them without attaching to them, to observe them. But sometimes I don't always get it right. Sometimes I get caught up in a spiral, and that's exactly what happened for me this weekend. There was a lot that happened in my physical experience that were triggers for me, that were triggering old wounds, to show me where those wounds still were. And it just didn't feel good. And I just let myself kind of go into the spiral, and I found myself having a really hard time lifting myself out of it. I needed love. And that was also a wound because I have not in my life allowed myself to reach out to others and be vulnerable with others, that deeply vulnerable, and say, hey, I need help. In my darkest hours when I was sick, I did, because quite frankly, it was life or death. And I was allowed to say, and I allowed myself to say, I need help. But I don't often allow myself to get that vulnerable. And that's something that I have been working on. It's extremely scary for me because I've always been, the strong one. I've always been the independent one. I've always been the one who figures it out and lifts herself up. We're not meant to be doing this on our own. We're not meant to be in this world alone. And I'm so grateful that I have family and friends and soulmates who are here when I need them. But it takes a lot for me to reach out. And a lot for me to realize that sometimes I can't fill up that cup all the way by myself. I can get to a certain point, but sometimes I just need a little extra love and a little extra comfort. So I feel like many of us have been feeling this way over the course of the past week. Like I said, you guys have sent me some emails. I was talking to a soul sisters who's experiencing this as well. It's hard, and that's where we really have to be there for each other and allow ourselves to for others to give that love, but for us to allow ourselves to receive that, which is something I am really learning how to do. And again, that's not easy. It's easier to sometimes offer that love. It feels more natural sometimes to offer that love than it is to receive it. But that too is programming. That too is conditioning. That too is trauma response from when we weren't allowed to receive love or didn't allow ourselves to receive love, or we were believed that receiving love in any capacity was bothersome or a nuisance or whatever the wound is. So that's where we learn to abandon ourselves. That's where we learn to betray our own needs. And part of this journey is recognizing how to honor ourselves and to not betray ourselves, to not betray our own needs, because we have needs that do need to be met. We are, in essence, superhuman. The more we remember that we are soul, the more we recognize that we are superhuman, in a sense. And I don't mean that as a hierarchy. I don't mean that as like a superiority thing. We all are. That's what we're learning. That's what we're remembering and waking up to through our global ascension. But being superhuman does not mean being super guarded. Does not mean cutting yourself off. It does not mean not having that support or allowing that support. We're in this together, truly. We are all here on this planet to serve a purpose. We are all here for a mission, and we can't do it single-handedly. We're not meant to. We're really not meant to. So if you are struggling, as I have been, you are loved, you are seen, you are heard, you are understood, and you are not alone. All right. What's going on for the Divine Masculine? What's going on for the Divine Masculine right now, please, Spirit? What's going on for the Divine Masculine? We have the word loyalty, comes in all shapes and sizes. This is going to be an emotional one. I can already feel it. Divine Feminine, please. Karma, cause and effect. And union energies, please. Union energies. Protection. Whew. Clear your energy field. All right. Oh my. We're going to start with the Divine Masculine. No, we're going to start with the Divine Feminine. They're bringing me to. We have this energy of karma, cause and effect. Karma is an energy, and it's the energy of what you put out into the world. It's you reap what you sow. It's what you put out into the world is what's returned to you. And what they're actually showing me is the infinity symbol. That energy is not created or destroyed. It is. It exists. It transforms. Karma gets a bad rap because we associate karma throughout history with bad stuff, right? Evil, negativity. We have a lot of sayings of you're going to get your karma, that kind of thing. But the energy that I'm getting here for the Divine Feminine is this feeling of abundance. It's this feeling of the love that you have within your heart is being recognized, is being seen, is being heard, is being understood. The love that you have been putting out into the world is being returned to you. But your job is to allow yourself to receive it, to open up enough to receive it. This cause and effect energy is you have been opening your heart. You have been expanding. You have been this beautiful, loving energy. And throughout the course of your life, not just your ascension journey and not just your awakening, but throughout the course of your life, you have been learning these lessons and having these experiences to help you understand more and more of your soul self, to help you understand more and more of your connection to God's source, to help you understand more and more the role of the universe and your role as part of the universe, that there is no separation between that. And so the more you do your healing work, the more you have a beautiful, profound effect on the world and on this universe. And the energy that you have been putting out there as a result of your shadow work, as a result of your light work, as a result of your healing and your remembrance, is being received where it needs to go and it is returning to you. I think too often we get caught up in this, and you guys, this is like where I was, where I got caught up in this feeling of, what does it matter? What does it matter? I was caught up in my ego this weekend where it felt like I was doing so much work, and what did it matter? Were people understanding it? Were people receiving the messages? Were people um, really being helped by the work that I do? Did it matter? Because it's like I was comparing myself to other people who are living my dreams, and I feel like I'm still struggling to get there. People who were having bigger audiences, and I feel like sometimes like I'm screaming into the void. Now, I want to say that very humbly, that I love you guys. I love this community, and I would still do what I do even if it was just one of you. Even if it was just one of you, I would still be doing what I'm doing. That is how honored I feel to be doing what I'm doing. That's how much I believe in the messages that come through me. Because I am just a guide. I am just a conduit. I am just a channel. And so I can't tell you how much I appreciate you. But sometimes my ego gets the better of me. I've always been extremely ambitious. I've always been somebody who has a lot of big dreams for herself and her life, and who wants to change the world. But again, I can't change it single-handedly. There's a quote, I don't even know the quote, and I don't know who says it, but they're reminding me of like a paraphrased energy of, you might not know. Why are they bringing me that? Okay, I'll get to that in a second. You might not know who you're reaching. You might never see it. But that's what legacy is. Legacy is planting seeds for tomorrow that might never come, that you believe in, but that you might never see. It's interesting because they're showing me the musical Hamilton, and it's when George Washington is saying, I'm going to sit under the fig tree, I think it is. I don't know. I can't remember. But it's that same energy. It's like I'm going to sit under this tree that's been planted, and I might not be able to see where it leads, but I know that the seed that I planted is going to grow into something. That's the seed that you've been planting, the seed of love. And believe in it. Believe in it. Have faith in it. When I was working on my second book, I was in touch with and friends with a literary agent who helps a lot of writers who are looking to get published. And I reached out to her and had a communication with her, beautiful woman. And I told her that I was struggling because part of me wanted to get traditional representation for my book, and part of me didn't, because I knew, being in the publishing industry, I knew, I have my own publishing company as well. So I knew the industry, and I knew that my book might be edited and changed to be something that I didn't want it to be. I was writing the book the way I needed it to be written. That book was based on my own experiences with Lyme disease. It's fictional, but it's based on my story. It's based on my own experiences. And it was basically my love letter to the world when I didn't think I was going to make it the second time around. And I was writing to this agent and telling her how I felt just so depleted and defeated, and like I didn't know what path to take or what to do. And she said, Susan, what do you want to do? What do you feel in your heart? And so I responded. I said, I feel like I want to publish this for myself. Share it with the world, of course, but publish it on my own. Make sure it's what I want it to be. And she said something that I will never forget. She said, your book will find the people it's meant to reach, and you will be lighting candles in the dark. Man, I have healed so much trauma from the illness, but that still gets me. Those words still get me, because that is what we are doing here. We are lighting candles in the dark, And we might never know how far that light reaches. But that's not why we shine. That's not why we shine. That's not why we do what we do. We do it for the love. And what they have shown me over and over and over on this journey, that love is never wasted. Never, ever wasted. Love is never destroyed. It just transforms and it reaches whoever it needs to reach. And the more we just allow ourselves to open up to love, loving ourselves and loving each other, then it finds its way. That energy of love finds its way into all those darkened corners that we might not ever know or see. And you know what? It's coming back too. It comes back. It comes back to us, but we have to be open to receiving. Divine masculines, we might not be able to always feel or see the evidence of this because of their behavior in the physical world. The things they do, the things they say, that might seem so counterintuitive to what they actually feel or what we're actually feeling from them. But they have such devotion to divine feminine. They have such love for their divine feminine. They have such dedication for their divine feminine. And they are dedicated to their journey as well, to their growth, to their healing. We might not understand the way that they are approaching it. Again, it might sound really or seem really counterintuitive and really confusing to us. But they are so incredibly devoted and loyal, at least on the higher realms. And really, it is our responsibility to allow ourselves to open up and receive that energetically at the very least. I feel like this is divine masculine that is reminding you. That's why it was so emotional when this card came out. I feel like this is the divine masculine that is reminding you how much they love you, even if they can't say it. And sometimes we need it to be said. You know, that's where we have those boundaries, and that's where we have those needs that need to be met. Sometimes we need to be reminded because, again, we are human. But I feel like this is that reminder that they are here with you on this journey. For some, just take it as your own inner masculine. But for others who are feeling this connection and feeling this love with their sacred partner, allow this to be your reminder. Your union, your sacred partnership is so divinely guided and so divinely protected. Fiercely so, fiercely so. Your divine masculine might seem like an expletive deleted, but they are fiercely loyal and fiercely protective of you. They might not act like it, which feels like bullshit. I get it in the physical, but it will align. It will align. They are fiercely protective of you as well, just like you are fiercely protective of them, divine feminines. This is true alchemical marriage. This is true divine partnership. Man, I did not expect this to be this emotional. Not today. I did not expect this today. All right, let's use this deck. All right, what does the divine masculine want to say to the divine feminine? We're going to do it that way. What does the divine masculine want to say to the divine feminine? Okay, Three of Cups on the bottom of the deck, which is my union card. Joy, celebration, happiness, coming together. It's the Two Cups pouring into the One. We have the Six of Cups, we have the Four of Cups, we have the Queen of Wands, and we have the Eight of Swords. I feel like the Divine Masculine is really... Look, we have the dog as well, that loyalty energy. I feel like your Divine Masculine, oh my gosh, it's like from the child to the man. That's what I'm getting, from the child to the man. It's like your Divine Masculine is not only maturing, which is one message that I'm getting, growing, expanding, transforming into their higher version of themselves, but this message of I've been with you all along. I've been with you your whole life. Even if we met when we were 30, 40, 50, 60, even if we met later in life, I've been with you your whole life. We have been with each other. That's this kind of connection. That's this kind of sacred bond. You've been with each other through past lifetimes. You've been with each other through this lifetime. That's the sacred bond. Now, it feels like they're recognizing that some opportunities have passed them by, but they don't know how to take action. They don't know how to take charge yet because they keep looking in the mirror and seeing this lack energy within themselves. I don't know how to step forward. I don't know how to right these wrongs. I don't know how to correct this within myself. But I feel like they are untangling that web within themselves. I feel like their connection with you is becoming so strong that they're actually feeling this, the strength of the connection that you have, Divine Feminines. They're really beginning to feel this too. And the strength of that connection is so strong that they are learning how to clear those cobwebs, those Eight of Swords, the ties that have bound them up, that have kept them in their mind, that self-imprisonment energy. They're recognizing that this love is freedom. They're recognizing that this connection is freedom. They always thought of commitment, connection, relationship as something that was blocking their freedom, not realizing that this kind of love actually, and the joy and the happiness that it brings, they're saying, is what actually promotes more freedom. Because this isn't the past relationship that they had experienced. This is a new paradigm that we are creating. This is a new love, a new partnership, a new relationship that we are experiencing, a new kind of love, a new depth in love. And with that comes a sense of freedom. And they had not experienced that before. They did not understand that before. So I feel like they are breaking free from their self-imprisonment, where they were seeking freedom, but they were just getting themselves caught up by denying connection, by resisting connection, by resisting love and allowing themselves to see the full force of love. Now it's like they're looking in the mirror and they were seeing where they were lacking. They were seeing where they were in an energy of holding back and missing opportunities and missing the opportunity to love, missing the opportunity for freedom, missing the opportunity for their happiness and their joy. I feel like they're wanting to take action. I feel like this Queen of Wands right now is representing you, Divine Feminine. They're wanting to take action towards you, who are just in your higher power, who is just in this beautiful embodiment. But I feel like they are still a little bit holding themselves back and working on clearing the cobwebs, while reminding you that they have always been there, always will be there, and they will be again. I'm going to get a little bit more for the Divine Masculine. Anything else for the Divine Masculine? Ten of Cups and the Ace of Cups. That just confirms all of the love that they have, and recognizing that when they open their hearts to this love, it just ushers in this new paradigm of freedom and devotion and commitment, and that is freedom in and of itself. This new paradigm of love, this new world, this new earth, this new happiness. They had been a little bit afraid of happiness in, oh my gosh, Four of Wands at the bottom of the deck as well. They had been afraid of happiness, of their own happiness. They didn't believe it was possible because their own experiences had made them believe that it wasn't possible. But now they're beginning to shift in that belief. Now they're beginning to really see themselves clearly, this connection clearly, their Divine Feminine clearly, and what love truly means in partnership. All right, Divine Feminines. We're going to use the same deck. Divine Feminines, please. What's going on for the Divine Feminines? Divine Feminines, what do you want to say to your Divine Masculine? King of Cups, the Wheel of Fortune. Eight of Pentacles, and the Four of Pentacles. Two messages are coming through here. Eight of Cups on the bottom of the deck. I feel like the Divine Feminine, okay, the first message is, I feel like the Divine Feminine is looking at her masculine and seeing him as the King of Cups, seeing all the love that he truly has to offer. And for some of you who may have been in communication recently, or who are just feeling this love energetically, you're feeling the love of the masculine. You're receiving the love of the masculine, or at least allowing yourself to receive the love of the masculine. Now, there is forward movement, but I feel like the second message is, it's almost like, you see how she's wearing this pair of die on her, around her neck? It's almost like you're learning how to trust it, because it almost feels like, is that stability consistent? Is it present? Is it real? Is it secure? Can I believe in it? You're learning how to trust again, because it almost feels like it's a roll of the dice. Am I going to get the immature masculine who doesn't know how to handle my feelings or my emotions or my expression of self? Or am I going to get the mature masculine who is able to hold space for me? Masculine energy, divine conscious masculine energy, is a beautiful container. That's a protector energy, provider energy. The feminine energy is wild in that she is very emotional, not immaturely so, but she feels very deep-seated emotions. So does the masculine, but they just display it very differently. The feminine, she is a free-flowing of energy, a free flow of emotions, and that's why her emotions she's like the moon, right? That's why, like the water, the ocean, it's like, one minute she might be calm, and one minute she might be a whole freaking storm, right? But that's the free flow of the energy that moves through the Divine Feminine. And the Divine Masculine, who is very much more logic-oriented, even though they're very sensitive and they feel a lot of emotions, they apply more logic. They apply more rationale and practicality. They are more straightforward. They are more present-oriented. Divine Feminine is very fluid. And so it might be a little bit confusing to the Divine Masculine who's not really experienced that kind of energy before. And so it's this energy of the Divine Feminine is like the river. She's the current. She's the water that flows. But the masculine energy is the, what do you call it? The banks of the river that contains the energy or the flow of the Divine Feminine. That way she doesn't flood. That way she doesn't get out of control, right? So she's very wild. She's very free. She's very flowing in her energy and her emotions. But the masculine provides the presence, the stability, and the structure, the discipline for the feminine. And that's where you need both your masculine and your feminine within you. But in partnership, in physical relationship and partnership, that is where you balance each other out. And you can see this in physical partnership, the beauty of that balance as well, when you are in harmony and when you are working together and when you are in balance. So I feel like the Divine Feminine is saying, can I trust this? Can I trust my Divine Masculine to be there? Can I trust the stability? Can I trust what I'm experiencing here? I feel like she's working really hard on that trust. She's really focused on her own journey. She's really focused on her own healing. She's really focused on opening up where she was really guarded and closed off before. But she's also been seeing her masculine as guarded and closed off, which she's kind of matching in that energy, where she's recognizing, oh, my masculine's closed off, so I'm going to close off. But she's working on that. She's working on opening herself and being more vulnerable and being more trustworthy of this connection. And being more trustworthy of her masculine, who in turn is learning how to trust and open up to the connection himself. All right, let's get a little bit more. A little bit more for the Divine Feminine. Queen of Swords. Yeah, she's learning. Two of Wands and the Ace of Swords. Yeah, she's learning how to trust herself. She's learning how to be more open, more expressive, more vulnerable, more intimate with herself, her emotions, what she's feeling with the connection as a result. She's learning. And I feel like with this Two of Wands, it's almost like she could go back into the past where she was closed off, where she was, abandoning herself and her needs and betraying herself and dishonoring herself, or she can work on overcoming her fear. And I feel like that's what's happening here. This almost feels like this is crown chakra and third eye chakra opening. It's interesting. I just posted that reel all about, find your center, the spiral. I was at a labyrinth nearby, and coming home to yourself. And that's what this is. This is that spiral, going deeper and deeper into your own healing, going deeper and deeper into your own vulnerability. Actually, what they're reminding me of is that was the Sacred Union energy update that I posted on my community tab on Facebook and on Instagram as well. It's the written posting. It's going deeper within intimacy and vulnerability within yourself and within the connection. And by doing that, you are actually establishing a new pattern. You're establishing new beliefs. You're ridding yourself of the old energy of past pain and past heartache, past trauma, past programming and conditioning, especially when it comes to love and relationships, and you're rewriting your story. So that's what this really feels like. It feels like there's a lot of new beginnings that are occurring here. You might not be able to recognize that as such. It might kind of look like a clusterfuck right now, but that's actually what is happening. There's a lot of healing that is taking place. There's a lot of energy that is moving and aligning, and a lot of clearing out of old, what I like to call soul sludge. All right, let's end with how you're feeling about each other. How's the divine masculine feeling about the feminine? How's the masculine feeling about the feminine? How's the masculine feeling about the feminine? Secretive. This is what I'm getting. Very secretive. Very secretive. Very like holding themselves back. Oh yeah, they don't want you to know that this is what they're actually feeling. And I feel like a lot of it is because they're not fully aware of it themselves. We have communication that wanted to pop out too. I feel like they do want to express this, but they're just realizing this for themselves. I feel like they do have really deep-seated feelings for you. They do have even perhaps romantic feelings for you. There's so much love that is here, and I feel like they do want to express it, but I feel like they're learning it for themselves, understanding it for themselves, trying to process it for themselves, and so that's why they're holding back, because they don't quite feel comfortable with it for themselves yet, so they're not ready to express that. This is not for you to hold on to a connection, Divine Feminines. If you feel guided to keep working on your path and walking your path, if you feel guided to other connections, allow yourself to trust your intuition. Divine Masculine is going through their own process, just as you've been going through yours. Allow yourself to do what feels right for you. Divine Feminine. Regret. Tell me about this. What is this energy for the Divine Feminine? Not really feeling this. Oh, security. Okay, I get it. So the Divine Feminine is recognizing where she, too, was closed off. Remember, you guys are mirrors to each other. You know, your reflection. So what one experiences, the other experiences just from different avenues, just from a different place. It's like two sides of the same coin. The coin's the same, but you're approaching it from two different angles. And so Divine Feminine is recognizing where she wasn't allowing herself to be vulnerable, where she was holding herself, where she wasn't allowing herself to be expressive. And because of that, she wasn't feeling secure in the connection. Both of you guys, throughout your connections, you might experience a lot of attachment issues. Attachment, anxious attachment, avoidant attachment. You both are each other at different times. So Divine Feminines are often the ones that experience anxious attachments. That's a lot of the chaser energy. Divine Masculines are a lot of the avoidant energy. That's a lot of the runner energy. They try to avoid. But you both experience it at different times. So sometimes the feminine is the avoidant, and sometimes the masculine is the anxiously attached. It just depends on how it portrays itself within your connection or at any given time. And so I feel like the divine feminine is really recognizing herself, and she's recognizing where she needed to establish for herself first that feeling of safety, that feeling of security, and where she didn't always feel that way within the connection. She didn't really often feel like she was capable of opening up and being vulnerable and being intimate, and justifiably so. I don't want to negate and put blame on you, divine feminine. In many cases it was justifiably so, because the masculine was having really poor behavior, was mistreating and disrespecting the feminine, because they might have been pushing the feminine away. But again, there's always the mirror. So there's no blame here. There's the mirror. You see where each person has their own sense of responsibility. Each person has played their role, and each person must accept accountability for their part. That is what a healthy relationship is all about. It's about growing together, learning together, and each person taking accountability for the part that they played in whatever relationship rupture there was, in order to repair, come back together and repair it together. So divine feminine, I feel like she's releasing a lot of the past. I feel like she is learning where she was not allowing herself to feel vulnerable and intimate within herself, and thus within her connection. And she's learning how to build this sense of trust again within herself, and possibly even within her connection. Now, divine masculine on that end needs to step up to put in the effort and show the divine feminine that he is worthy of her trust, because a lot of that trust has been broken. Again, justifiably for the divine feminine, for what she's experiencing. But that's where you both have to work on the connection and take accountability, be aware, make amends, and work on the connection together from healthy, mature places. So this is not dismissing anybody of responsibility. This is divine feminine that is recognizing, okay, this is where I need to look at my part. Divine masculine has their own part to look at. And we've been talking about that on the channel for a very long time. Divine feminine is looking at her part as well. She's always been looking at her part. That's part of her healing. But this is a deeper level of, this is where I held myself back. This is where I was not trusting the connection. This is where I was not trusting myself. This is where I wasn't feeling secure within myself. This is where I needed to hone that sense of safety and security within myself, within my own masculine. This is where I needed to recognize where I was abandoning myself before, and say, I'm never doing that again. I'm never going to dishonor myself again. So she might be working through some energy here of regret for how she treated herself in the past, and how that reflected in the connection. Again, not to put the blame on the feminine, because divine masculine, they have their own shit that they've done, that they need to work through and they need to take accountability for. But this is divine feminine that is saying, I can honor and respect myself now, and I can honor and respect the connection, and see where there needs to be a new foundation and new trust to be built. Union energies. What's going on in the union energies? Foundation of friendship. And you see how their arms are around each other? This is oneness. This is that sacred connection. And your relationship, whether it is a romantic relationship, whether it is a committed connection, whether it is a work partnership, or whatever it displays itself in the physical, the foundation is and always will be friendship. That's where it starts. For some, that might be where it stays, but that is the connection. This friendship card is giving me the energy of sacred union. It's giving me the energy of connection, this sacred bond that you guys share. It's beautiful. All right, let's get a final message. I'm going to use my Journey of the Heart deck. I just restocked. It's on my Etsy and my website. These have just come back in stock if you guys are interested in purchasing my decks. Divine Masculine. Divine Masculine, where are you? Where are you in the connection? Divine Masculine, where are you in the connection? The Hierophant. You're ascending to higher levels of consciousness. Allow your beliefs around love and commitment to expand. Divine Feminine, No. Divine Feminine, where are you in the connection? Nope. Just one, please. Divine Feminine, where are you in the Divine Feminine's being a little bit stubborn. Divine Feminine, where are you in the connection? Thank you. Queen of Cups, it's time to take a step back from focusing too heavily on your relationship to reconnect with the compassionate, sensitive soul that you are. Your partnership will deepen from your own self-love, being intimate and vulnerable with yourself and understanding your emotions. And where is the sacred union? Oh my goodness. Where is the sacred union? Knight of Pentacles, you and your partner have reached a beautiful state of interdependence. You've nurtured wholeness within yourself with an ability to support each other, allowing you both to grow in love. And they're actually highlighting that for me. Yeah, we have the Wheel of Fortune here on the bottom of the deck. They're highlighting both growing in love because of your states of wholeness, because you have done this journey essentially on your own. Always together in the higher realms, but essentially on your own. You've been working on your own individual path, on your own individual journey, and now you're actually growing together. All right, I want to get a final message from the masculine to the feminine and the feminine to the masculine. All right, masculine to the feminine, what do you want to say? Masculine to the feminine, what do you want to say? You've expanded my happiness, and your love is intoxicating. Yeah, what did we say in the beginning here? It's like they're recognizing this happiness. They're recognizing the key to happiness here, but it's been a little bit overwhelming for them. But they're working through it. Divine Feminine to the Divine Masculine. You bring light to my darkness. Ooh, things have been heavy for the Divine Feminine, but their Divine Masculine is helping to shine a light for them, just as they have shown a light for the Divine Masculine. Beautiful. Actually, let's get one more. Divine Feminine to the Divine Masculine. Thank you. I'm creating a more stable foundation, and that's part of that security energy where they are learning how to really trust themselves and honor themselves and not abandon yourself. Divine Feminines, you're creating a more stable foundation within yourself, which is going to have a ripple effect on your connection, because as you create a more stable foundation for yourself, your masculine is doing the same, and you create a more stable foundation for your partnership as well. Really beautiful energies, you guys. This is, oh man. All right, I'm sending you all so much love, so much light, and we'll see you next time. Bye.